If that stream doesn't work.
No, it's not. It's-
Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to the October 21st, 2021 meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals. And I'll call this meeting to order. It's customary that we start all of our meetings with a pledge of allegiance, so if you would stand and join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Suzanne, if you would take a roll call, please.
Hold on.
She doesn't need more.
Robin Cooper. Present. Norm Warner.
Here.
Beth Wood.
Here.
Oh my gosh. Corbin.
Here.
Sandra.
Here.
Okay, everybody was present.
Okay. Number 4, approval of minutes. You have the minutes from the July the 15th, 2021 meeting of the BZA. Before you, I would take a motion.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from July BZA.
Motion to approve by Corbin,
I'll second.
second by Sandra. All in favor by show of hands?
Same, because I wasn't here, so,
4-0-1.
only because I wasn't here.
Number 5, new business. Our only piece of new business tonight is a use variance by Matthew and Amber York. As I need to do some housekeeping here and then we can move forward with it. So in the matter of a variance of use, the Board of Zoning Appeals shall approve or deny variance of use from the terms of the zoning ordinance. The board may impose reasonable conditions as a part of the approval process. A variance may be approved under this section only upon the determination of the following 5 items. The approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, moral, and general welfare of the community. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. The need for the variance arises from some condition peculiar to the property involved. The strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will constitute an unnecessary hardship if applied to the property for which the variance is sought. The approval does not interfere substantially with the comprehensive plan adopted under the 500 series of this chapter. And this petition is a request for the variance from agricultural 3.3D to 3.3C1F, which is commercial, with a warehouse and distribution operation. Before we start, was there a sign posted at the property at the proper time frame
Yes, sir.
for notification? Were letters sent to the adjacent property owners and received acknowledgement that they were received?
Yes, there was.
Was it published in the paper at the proper time frame?
Yes, it was.
And tonight we're holding the hearing, which is the 4th part of the process. So, notice of the Board of Zoning Appeals hearing shall be in accordance with Indiana Code 5-3-1-2 and Indiana Code 5-3-1-4. Due notice shall be given to the interested parties at least 10 days before the date of the set hearing, and that was done in the paper and by petition signed. A person may not communicate with any member of the board before the hearing with the intent of influencing the member's actions on a matter pending before the board was anyone approached. At least 10 days prior to the hearing, the planning director shall post and maintain the sign. We've already covered that. The board shall make written findings of their fact in support of its decision, and that will be available. Usually it'll be next week, since we're so late in the week, whatever our findings will be. So at this point, are you Matthew and Amber York?
Yes.
Approach the table, please. I'll need you to state your name for the record and then proceed with your petition.
I'm Amber York.
And I'm Matthew York.
We live at 3563 State Highway 67. We purchased the property this past February. When we moved into the property, the business, as most people know, it was Yoder's Mini Barns. They were running the mini barn business. They had to close that up in April of this past year, and they moved out the end of April, beginning of May. At which time then we kind of got it all cleaned up. And what we're asking for, I know it says commercial and as a distribution center, but really what it is it's semi-truck brings in pallets that are already prepackaged mostly. Some will have some loose things, so then they get put back on the pallet and rewrapped inside the building, and then the pallets go up for sale. It's usually just a couple days a week, and there's probably 5 to, I don't know, well, the lady who runs it most of the time is back here that can answer questions more about what goes on when it's ran. But we're just
You can come up here with them if you'd like.
So she has more of the answers about like how many customers, things like that come
You just need to
through
state
the
your
door.
name before.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Miller.
And you are the
Oh.
manager?
I
Okay.
own it, yes.
She owns the business, we own the building.
Yep.
Okay.
And that she runs the business.
And you own the property as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're aware that a use variance is just that, it'll be only a variance until the property would happen to change hands?
Correct, yes,
Okay.
that we do.
What kind of volume are you talking truck-wise in and out of there on that state
Oh,
highway?
we usually have 2 semis a week. We're unloaded and within an hour, they're out of there. Maybe an hour and 15 minutes.
And I've seen on your application that there's no concerns with sound or dust or anything like that?
The only sound right now coming from it is she is still using a generator at this time for the lights because we were working on getting the electrical ran to the building. So right now there is still a generator, but they're only open 5:30 to 7 or 7:30 a couple days a week, and then Saturday, yeah, thank you.
We're literally like open probably max of 15 hours of that.
Yeah.
If I'm there working, people stop by and.
But it's not open any later than 7, I think 7:30 is what I was trying to get at, is the latest that it's ever open.
And it keeps moving back. When it gets dark, we have to
Right.
be daylight hours.
So was it a new business or was it something that
I started it in my garages in Ellettsville,
Okay,
and
gotcha.
then we outgrew that pretty quickly.
I gotcha.
With the lights,
Mhm.
I would, and that's not a discussion for here necessarily, but if your neighbors do have issue with that, what I tell everyone that does any kind of planning zoning stuff
Mhm.
in Owen County is talk to the neighbors.
Yeah.
And reach a mutual agreement so that we're not, it makes it easier on all of us if we can do that.
We've talked to most of the neighbors, all of them to the right. The only neighbor we haven't talked to is the rental property, which is, I guess, the closest to the business.
Mhm.
But those people that live there just recently moved in, and so we've not talked with them, but most of our neighbors on the other side are actually been
We
customers.
actually had the Browns, or maybe someone stopped by and just to see what we were doing. She was like, "Oh, you're fine, you don't bother," so
Yeah.
she stopped by to check it out.
Do you know, and I asked Suzanne this and she wasn't sure, do you know if your drive has been properly permitted to join the state highway?
I do not know that. I am going under the assumption that it was only for the fact that it is paved and then the rest is gravel. And I know in Morgan County, that is the rule for any commercial business or for a business that comes off of a highway, is they do require A, the culvert, and B, that it be paved like that so far in, and then it can go to gravel. So I'm just assuming this based off of knowledge from another county. I don't know for Owen.
And that's not under a preview, I'm just thinking
Yeah.
about you guys in this one.
Yeah, I just know the state requires that, like I said, in Morgan County, anything that comes through, that's what they tell.
Well, like you said, if it's paved back into your property and there's a proper culvert in there, it's probably been done.
Well, Nate
But-
had all kinds of semis moving and
Right.
trucks moving, with the building, moving those buildings in and out, cause I witnessed it more than once, so.
We were told that like it would stop traffic and cause sometimes they'd have to like back and
Yeah.
forward and back and
Mhm.
forward and then
Yeah.
take off and then it
And we
was.
don't do that. and
Yeah.
it's pretty simple.
I've witnessed some dangerous situations right there between it and the quarry,
Well, it
Oh,
helps not having the buildings and the parking lot
For sure,
restricted,
yeah.
and how they can maneuver, so the semis
Yeah.
have no problems pulling around in that parking lot with no buildings there.
yeah, they circle around and pull right out just fine.
do you foresee any long-term storage of a large supply of skids? I'm talking
That was
1,000 or something.
Yeah, I was like.
We don't have the room
Okay.
to do that.
That's why I was curious, like if you got backlogged for whatever reason, you weren't able to move them, or start piling them by the road and then construction, that's why I didn't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
the trucks
no,
would stop.
we don't sell actually the wooden pallets. We sell the liquidation, the stuff that comes from like Amazon and Target and all
Oh,
that. It's
Oh.
not,
On pallets.
it's on pallets.
Oh, okay.
Palleted merchandise, usually,
Yes.
Okay.
usually returned or discontinued.
I'm with you.
Shelf
I totally missed the boat on that one too. I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, sorry, a lot of people,
Okay.
we get so many people come by, and say, oh, I thought you sold wooden pallets. So we do get rid of them, we have a guy here that has a business locally, he takes the wooden pallets, so that's all taken
Yeah.
care of.
That's why my concern, just like
Yeah.
your waste and stuff.
Yep, we let him get about 40 or 50 deep and then he'll come and pick them up.
Are you selling to the general public at all, or are you selling to like specific businesses?
Both.
Both?
A lot of
Okay.
people are resellers.
Yeah.
So, that's why we only have to be open, in 2 hours, we can sell up to 30 pallets.
Balance, sure.
Because the resellers will come in by 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you have people like you guys, they'll just stop just to see and they'll buy one, just to see what it's all about.
No, I have experienced a little bit of that. I got into that deal up in Plainfield where you could go up and buy the pallet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're not that big, I mean, we're limited how much we can grow there,
Mhm.
and I'm okay with that, like, 2 semis a week, very rarely will we ever have 3, but
Yeah.
usually 2, and they're in and out of there, would you say an hour?
Oh, yeah.
Hour and
Yeah.
15 minutes probably.
It's about down now.
Anybody got anything else from the board?
No, the only comment I have is you were talking about the access. There may be an easement granted on the other deed for the Jones property.
Yeah, I'm wondering, it probably is because otherwise they wouldn't
Doesn't have
already
any-
have to drive there.
Doesn't have anything to do with.
Mr. Jones did not contact us in any way, shape, or form, so he's
No,
not too worried about it.
I only had one neighbor and they were just wanting to know what it was.
Okay.
And we plan on trying to get it resurveyed too, just to see if that's actually accurate or not, or if they, plan down the road.
Probably it's quarter section, so
I
it's.
think so, okay, so that's.
Well, if nobody has anything else, I'd entertain a motion and state your motion and any kind of restrictions if you have any.
I make a motion that we grant the limited use variance, at this time with no restrictions. I mean, I don't see any need for restrictions.
We got a motion, we got a second, so Robin made the motion, Corbin second. All in favor by show of hands? 5-0. Congratulations, and I'm
Thank you.
excited for you guys.
Thank you, guys.
We need businesses here.
Yeah, thank you guys so
We'll be
much.
shopping.
Yeah, I'm visiting you.
Yeah, stop by.
Thank you so much.
That's how I started at Plainfield, and then next thing you know, I'm buying a pallet. and I'm
Yeah,
on the truck.
that's how a lot of people start. Now I don't have to hear him every time, well, after third day, we may not be, I'm like, you be quiet.
Jim, I'm hauling the mail on this one. Do you have a public comment, Jim?
Thank you. Have a wonderful
Thank you.
night. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, number 8's public comments. We have no public.
I'm tired.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, can we adjourn?
So moved. We are in adjourn. Thank you, folks.
So like,
That was-
this Four Corners place here in town, they just basically buy pallets and then break down and sell, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I've been in there